Hello and welcome to STJB Catch Up for May. Last month has seen some incredible changes announced in St John's, including new jobs for staff members and Joy, of course, announcing that she's got a job in the Ipswich diocese. We've also appointed last week 4 new PCC members and had our first ever wardens vote, so congratulations to Martin and Brian, who will be our church wardens for at least the next year. On today's catch up, we've got our usual chat with Joy, talking about what her future might look like. We've also got a glimpse at some of the youth and children's team lead adverts. There's some angry ducks coming towards me here, so we're going straight to the Mission Matters chat that I had with Joe Hopkins and Carol Skeen, and I'm off.
Well, I've been coming to this church actually since 1985, and it's always excited me because we've prioritised mission, whether that's locally, running Alpha, or further afield in Sheffield, supporting the Oaks and Arise Sheffield, or whether it's away to the ends of the earth with the New Life Children's Home in India, and in so many ways. And I think at the PCC about a year ago, Carol, you were asked about mission and maybe sort of re-energising our church's enthusiasm and interest in mission.
Yeah, so that's when we got together and decided to set up a group, or to start the process of setting up a group. And you had that great idea of calling it Mission Matters,
because mission does matters.
Yeah. And so we thought about what the aims of the group would be, and I think so far what we've come up with is that we'd like to start meeting regularly to discuss how St John's can be involved in responding to the Great Commission to share the gospel locally, nationally, worldwide, to the ends of the earth, and also as a group to be able to make recommendations to PCC about how we might allocate the funding that's available to mission.
Because there is funding, the church has often given a tithe towards missional activities, so that's quite an exciting thought as well, isn't it, Carol?
Yeah, and we also thought that we wanted to be available for anybody that wanted to be involved in mission, wasn't quite sure how to go about it, or wanted a little bit of support or advice, that they could come to us. And
so that could be going and talking to our wonderful youth, couldn't it? About opportunities maybe for short-term activities, or even for longer. We could help support them as a church. So we actually need a few more people, because Carol and I, and there are a few others who responded to the call at church to sort of have a little meeting after church a few weeks ago, but I think we need a few more.
I think we do, more the merrier.
So if you're interested to join Carol and I and a few others, please come and have a little chat with us.
Now it's time for a chat with Joy in Morty Vicar. April has seen some pretty mad changes going on at St John's, hasn't it? With several people announcing that they have new jobs.
Yeah.
So big changes. Maybe we should focus on one thing that isn't changing at the start, and that's Sheffield Wednesday are staying in the Championship. How do you feel about that, Joy?
Oh, I'm just totally over the moon. I'm quite impressed that I did know that they were staying in the Championship, and I was Sunday, Kirsty managed to just wear blue and white in a kind of
did she? Yeah.
Quiet nod. Yeah, quiet nod to the results. Yeah, no, I'm really happy for them. I've not, I'm not a massive football fan, but it's impossible to be part of this church and not increase your allegiance to Wednesday, because it just goes with the territory, doesn't it? So,
will you tell people when you go to your new job, if they say to you, what football team you support?
I'll probably say that I support both Sheffield teams. Both Sheffield teams. I know that's contentious, but
it's probably good diplomacy, really, isn't it?
I do always tell people that Aussie Owl is our church warden.
Well, that's
always
definitely a flex, isn't it? I think I like to tell people that as well.
I dine out on that,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have grown in my appreciation of Wednesday over the last 7 years. Just don't ask me to name any players.
Yeah. I mean, I'm amazed at pretty much every funeral we do in the past 3 years, and there's been loads, but pretty much every one of those people has had Sheffield Wednesday mentioned as being really a big part of their life, haven't they, as well?
Yeah, and let me tell you about funerals, right? This is one of the mad things about funerals, particularly when funerals are for older people. You can always chart what their lives will have been like. They'll have grown up in either Walkley or Hillsborough, gone to one of the local schools, left school at 14. If they're a guy, they'll have gone straight into some sort of steel factory, one of the Mesters, something around Kellam Island, tool making, that sort of thing, or Forge Masters or something like that. Then they'll have done their national service. Then they'll have gone back into industry. Most of the women went straight to work at Bassett's, and so like. All these people that we do funerals for, and obviously church family, don't get the privilege of hearing these stories. Like their lives are so similar. It's really, really fascinating. And you're right, Sheffield Wednesday is a massive part of our life.
Yeah. Okay, so going on to some of the changes then.
Yeah.
So we obviously had an epic announcement from the Ipswich and
Edmondsbury
Diocese about your new job. Now, I love the title of your new job. So Joy is going to be Director of Perfect Peace.
Director of Perfect Peace. And
I don't think we got much information about that in the announcement. So just tell us a bit about what that is.
I mean, there's a proper irony in this, isn't there, as well, for people who know me well. I mean, would anybody describe me as perfectly peaceful? I'm not sure that they would. So, Director of Madness and Mayhem is probably a more appropriate title. But anyway, we're going with Director of Perfect Peace. It's a lot to live up to. Well, the job, it's a job that really people have said that this job's been made for me. I'm not entirely sure if that's the case, but all the way through my training, I kept writing on my various different forms for the Church of England that I felt that my calling was to both being ordained as a priest and to working in the church to support the mental health of children and families. And basically, this job is doing that. So the Diocese of St Edmundsbury and Ipswich are pioneering this project, which is to design toddler group sessions, particularly with a kind of short session at the end, that take ideas from the Bible and faith and our heritage as Christian people and apply them through the kind of lens of mental health thinking. To work with parents and children to essentially give them a grounding in both faith and good mental health, which, knowing what we know about how much so many people are struggling with their mental health at the moment, seems like an incredible thing to do. And the title comes from this amazing verse in Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3, which says, "He will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are founded on him." So, or are secure in him. So the idea that when we're forming kind of little children, they're forming their identity. And as we support those family relationships growing, if we're investing in kids and teaching them that they're loved and known and held by God, alongside kind of helping their parents to build really good positive relationships with them, we're setting them up to have minds that are secure because they're minds that are founded on God. And that's something that really, really excites me. It's the space that I really want to see the church growing into. And so this project is, yes, rooted in Ipswich, which is mad because it's a 3.5-hour drive to Ipswich. But the idea is that the project's going to grow national really quickly. So my hope is that within the first year, we'll start introducing these groups back into Sheffield Diocese and then go on from there with other dioceses across the country. So I'm super excited to get to do it. Really sad to be leaving St John's because it wasn't in my game plan, particularly to be thinking about leaving at this time. But when this job came up, it just felt like too good an opportunity to turn down. And So yeah, the doors opened and on we go. So yeah, it's going to be a mad commute. Hopefully I'll only be doing it once a week. Definitely doing it more than that would feel quite epic, I think.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing these groups develop, writing the resources and piloting the groups, getting some feedback from people and spreading them up and down the country. That's the plan.
Yeah. Sounds great. It does sound as though you're very excited and passionate about it, and it's probably like it is your sort of perfect role, really. So,
I think it's stepping more and more into who God has called me and made me to be as a priest. But it will be incredibly sad to be leaving all the wonderful people of St John's behind. And 7 years, 3.5 years as curate, 3.5 years as oversight minister here. It's just been an incredible privilege to walk with the brilliant people here and be part of their lives. So
you have got 3 months. Is it about 3 months here still?
Yeah.
So what are the sort of things you're doing? What are your priorities in those 3 months then?
Great question. Well, you will know, Mark, because you're part of our staff team, that our staff team is a lot smaller than it was, and that was not in our plan either. So there's work we need to do there. We're right at the beginning of recruiting our children's and youth team leader. So we've designed a new role for somebody to come in and be a full-time person overseeing everything that we do at St John's with children and youth. That doesn't mean that they're going to be leading it all. It just means that they're going to be overseeing and supporting and managing all of that work. So we have got a recruitment timeline that takes us to just about the end of June, when we'll be interviewing that post. So one of my priorities is getting a really, really great person into that job. I'm super excited about that job, and I'd really love to have a fabulous person that we can hand that work on to. We're also reviewing Wing Gardens now that Suzanne has gone, and I'm going to be spending some time with the food bank team, really thinking about how we can best develop and deliver that work going forward. What happens on Wing Gardens week by week is so beautiful. It's incredible work, and just amazing to see how that team has grown, how the team is formed from a range of different people from the community, from church, from other communities as well. And we want to make sure that that work is taken really good care of, and that the community of Wing Gardens is a place that we continue to invest in. So again, working out what the role description for that role is going to be, and working with PCC to decide what the best way forward, that's going to be really important. So my hope is that we'll be able to get someone else in a post on Wing Gardens before I leave as well. Although that depends on the conversations with PCC. So those sorts of things are my priority, really. And then just making sure that we are set up for the autumn term, so that we've got really good plans in place, so it doesn't all feel kind of bumpy and chaotic. So just trying to make sure that I have everything as organised as it can be to leave as well as possible, and obviously saying goodbye to people. So really, from May is going to be super busy. June, I've got at least a week of different conferencey things that I'm involved in. And then after that point, I'm just not going to pick up anything new at all. So it will just be tying up every possible loose end and being with people. And obviously we're saying goodbye to James as well, aren't we?
Of course, that's going to be sad. Yeah. I think the plan is to have him have a chat with us next catch up as well. So that'll be good to get his final sort of thoughts.
And I guess the only other thing is that I am also this year going to be the chaplain to the Lord Mayor of Sheffield. So that begins next week. So that won't be a kind of hugely time-consuming role. Right. But Councillor Jane Dunn, who is the Lord Mayor to be, so she gets installed on May the 15th, which is next week. I'm going to be her chaplain. So that just means accompanying her on some official visits and being available to offer her spiritual support and walk alongside her through her year in office. Apparently I get a badge.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about the badge.
That sounds good. You don't get any sort of chain or anything, do you?
No chain, no, sadly. But I do get a badge. So that's all good.
I do remember my dad doing a similar thing to the Mayor of Brigg, which is slightly smaller town than Sheffield. But he got to go to lots of functions and eat lots of food, and he put on a lot of weight, he said. So I hope you get to gate crash some good dinners and, you know, things like that.
That's the hope. Yeah, I'll go to lots of buffets. I genuinely don't quite know what it'll be like, but I'm really looking forward to it. And Councillor Jane is absolutely lovely, and just looking forward to being able to host a space for her that is a kind of prayerful, kind, and facilitating space. That's what I hope I'll be able to do.
Brilliant. Nice one. I think that's all this month, but we'll have at least another couple of catch-ups, won't we?
Yeah. We should have actual tea maybe one time.
Oh, yeah. This week, we've started to advertise for our new youth and children's team lead position. So we're hoping that job is in place for the start of September. So please get praying. What's coming up now is some video that we're going to use to help to promote that job a little bit around social media. So if you see any of these little clips on Facebook or Instagram, please give them a like, and let's try and share them as wide as we possibly can to get lots of applications in.
We're very fun people to be around. It's always a good laugh.
Just need somebody who can be a role model and just really just take them to the next level with Jesus.
And they need to be caring and safe. Please come.
Like just all around into fun and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
We're all like really close, and we're all kind of like a friendship group, so we all get along really well, and it's all just a bit of a laugh when we're all together.
Yeah, dude. Christopher?
Because we have a lot of fun here. It's probably one of the best jobs out there.
Well, that's all we've got time for this month's catch-up. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Join us again next time.